Hey, hey, tribe, and happy Monday. Oh my goodness. This is my first time ever going live here on YouTube. So, welcome in. For those of you who are new here, I am Coach Jocelyn. I'm a certified relationship coach and speaker. And today I wanted to talk about what a high value woman is. So, oftentimes we hear about a high value man, and we hear so much about you know, you have to be this type of woman to attract a high value man and stuff like that. And for me, I really wanted to talk about high value women because I think there's this misconception about what it is, or there's some things that we've heard about what a high value woman is, and it's just kind of like, really, like what in the world is that? What does that even mean? And since when did we start using all these crazy adjectives to describe people, right? But what I really wanted to do is to just use a totally different perspective, right? I want to look at the high value woman for identity and who she is. What does she look like, and what that could be for you? Because a lot of times, people are always trying to put us into this box, right? And you may be round, okay? You a circle. You don't need to go on no square peg, okay? So I just wanted to give you some ideas, some ways for you to just focus back on yourself and work back on yourself. Because as you can see, I am the date thyself coach. So my focus in relationships is always putting yourself first, and not in a negative type of way, but in a way where when you put yourself first, that you can overflow into the lives of others. Because a lot of times we set the standards low for other people, right? The people in our lives, like, we are willing to go to the moon and back for them, but when it comes to ourselves, we may set the standard way too high. And when we do that, we go ahead and we give up, and we be like, well, whatever, man, I guess this goal wasn't meant for me. Or I guess maybe next time that'll be something that I work towards. But the truth is that you have your goals for a reason. You need and want these types of relationships for a reason, and it is to help you to become a better person, not just for you but for others. So don't look at putting yourself first as this thing where it's like being selfish and it's unbiblical, when the truth is it's actually biblical. Because the verse says that the first thing you should do is to love the Lord your God with all your heart, mind, and strength. And the second is the same, for you to love your neighbor as yourself. And if you don't love yourself, how in the world can you know how to love others and treat others right? So that's why I wanted to get back to different characteristics of what help us to have a more fulfilled life and be more fulfilled women, but also be a woman of high value. So the first thing I want to do, I'm just going to grab my tablet because I got some notes on here that I want to share with y'all. But the first thing I wanted to talk about was what exactly is um values. What are values? Because to me, a high value woman knows her values and beliefs, and she uses her values and beliefs to govern her everyday life. So if you don't know what you value or what it even means or what you believe, then it's hard for you to govern yourself accordingly, right? So, a definition that I found for values that I love was that values mean a person's principles or standards of behavior, one's judgment of what is important in life. So, I'm going to read that one more time. Values are a person's principles or standards of behavior, one's judgment of what is important in life. If you don't know what's important to you, because a lot of times we deem things important because of what somebody else said. A lot of people, believe it or not, are trying to live vicariously through us. And so they will say, oh, you should do this, or, you would be really great at this, because that may be something that they want. But if you don't check within yourself and say, you know what, that's something that I actually value, I'm going to go ahead and try that thing out. Or, that's something that I care about, or that's something that I care about, then I'm gonna go for that thing. But if you don't know what you value, then it's hard for you to do that, right? And then number two is beliefs. So beliefs is trust, faith, or confidence in someone or something. And I have found that, some clients, a lot of people come to me about building their confidence and stuff like that. But your confidence has to do with your belief system. What do you believe to be true about you? And a side note to that is that sometimes it's hard for us to believe certain things about ourselves because we say one thing but then we go ahead and do the opposite. We say that we want to live a healthful life, but then every time it comes time to go to the gym, we won't. When it comes time for us to make a better decision to eat better, we refuse to, and we be like, well, I've always done this, so I might as well just stay the same. So because you have stayed the same in all this time, your mind is like, your subconscious is like, well, I'm gonna follow what you've always done. So we have to change our beliefs if we want to build that confidence. If we want to have more, we have to change our beliefs and our belief systems. So that's why affirmations are so important. What is it that is true about you that you need to see, that you need to see it and speak it daily to yourself? You need to write those things down and actually post them. Say it to yourself in the mirror. I know that a lot of times that it may feel silly and stuff like that, but that's how we begin to have our beliefs. We form our beliefs by what we see and what we hear, and what you continue to feed yourself is what will help your beliefs, right? So as I said earlier, a high value woman uses her values and beliefs to govern her life daily. So now that you have an idea of what you believe and what you value, it's important to write these things down. I am so big about journaling. I'm telling you, when you journal, it makes the biggest difference in your life, because not only do you have the opportunity to express yourself and express it in a way where you're fully expressing yourself and it's not censored or anything like that, but you also have a chance to review and go back and see what you wrote. So it's good for you to go and write down what your values are and what your beliefs are. So I'm going to suggest that. And then using your values and beliefs, it helps to teach you how to treat yourself, how to treat others, and knowing what you deserve. A lot of times, like I said, we lower the standards for other people, right? We'll just be like, "Oh, well, that's just how they are," or whatever. But just because that's how they are doesn't mean that you have to continue to put up with that. That doesn't mean that you have to continue to enable that person, because growth does not come from enabling. Some people in our life, they just need to flat out grow up. And sometimes some of us need to go ahead and grow up. But we can't do that if we are being enabled or we're enabling other people. So I want you to think about that as you go about your daily life. If there's something that you want to see different, the first step to becoming different is forgiving yourself. Forgive yourself for the times that you disappointed yourself, for the times that you did not keep your promise to yourself, where you said, I'm not talking to this man no more because he's no good for me. And next thing you know, you end up back at his house again. Forgive yourself for that. Or for every time that you were like, well, now I'm acting just like my father who drinks a lot, or whatever that thing may be. You need to forgive yourself for the bad decisions that you made. And it could be helpful for you to write out, what are you forgiving yourself for? So that would be the first thing I would say for you to journal, is what are you forgiving yourself for? Because we also need to forgive ourselves for the times that we didn't protect ourselves, from when we was just out here willy-nilly doing whatever. And we need to release those things, because it makes it hard for us to move on in life when we keep holding on to things that are in our past. It keeps us in that spot, right? And then next, I want you to journal about who you are now. Who are you as a person now? What is it that your daily life looks like? And then after that, I want you to think about the type of woman that you want to be. Do you want to be the type of woman that knows how to say no in the proper situations? Do you want to be the type of woman that holds her head up high when she walks into a room? She has great confidence. What does that woman look like? What does she do different that you're not doing now? And then that is the way that you can plan your goals so that you know where it is that you want to go. You know, I tell my clients that it's great for you to have a vision statement for yourself, an actual personal vision statement, because in business, we have vision statements so that we know what is our end goal, where are we trying to go. And a lot of times when we don't set goals for ourselves, it's hard for us to know what that vision is. So that's why it's important to figure out what is the vision that you have for your life. Do you want to be an entrepreneur? Do you want to be married? Do you want to be married with no children? Do you want to be single? What is it that you want? You can never know where you're going if you have not designed where you're trying to go, right? So I want you to create that vision and then create a vision statement that will help you to govern your goals. And then that way, when that time when you're like, I don't feel like doing this, that, and the third. Your vision statement will remind you of why you're doing something. Because the best way to get over bad habits is to filter in new great habits, right? And honestly, half the time you're not gonna feel like it. I'm gonna just be honest. Like we think we're gonna feel like it all the time. We don't feel like it all the time. We don't always feel like doing the right thing. Sometimes we want to be lazy. Sometimes we want to take naps, but if we know what the end goal is, then that makes it so much easier for us to be like, you know what? I know what the vision is for my life and I want better for myself and I'm going to do better. So make sure that you're journaling these things out. But I want to support you. If you need support in your relationships, book a complimentary relationship audit with me. I will leave it down in the description box. You can always email me and say, hey, coach, can you send me the information for the relationship audit? It is a complimentary session with me where we discuss what it is that you need and where you're trying to go, what your goals are, and we map out a plan to help you get there. So it's complimentary again. So you can email me at info@thedatethyselfcoach.com, or you can click the link in the description box. And as always, if you have any questions, go ahead and drop them down in the chat. I'm the person to reply to you, so you don't have to feel like you're talking to somebody else. But I hope that these tips were helpful for you today, because in this series, I want us to think outside the box. I believe that this is a new season for a lot of us. And if you're like me, I am in a spring season right now where this is the opportunity for me to try new things, to take my life to new heights and new levels and make it exciting. I think that sometimes we make things so mundane and so boring to where we don't want to do nothing because we haven't decided, you know what, I used to do it this way. Let me try it this way. Let's try something new. So if you have not been getting the support you need, I'm going to tell you, as a coach, I have a coach too. You need to get yourself a coach. And I would love to be that coach that helps you to get your life to the next level and to also get you into relationships that you love and enjoy, whether that's platonic, romantic, or professional. Okay. I hope this was helpful. I love you all to life. I hope you have an awesome day, and I will talk to you on the next live. Bye.